Hi everyone, thanks so much for tuning into the last installment of our video tour of the Retain online community, also known as the ROC. This is the third in our three-part series of short videos designed to walk you through the ROC's features and content. And today we're going to explore the various ways you can find content on the ROC by taking you through a couple of sample scenarios. As always, we want to give you a quick refresher on logging into the ROC. You'll recall that you can do so by typing retain.org into the internet browser. If you don't have login credentials already, you can request them by clicking Request an Account here on the right-hand sidebar, or by talking to your AIR state liaison to request them. Once you have your username and password, you log in right here on the homepage by clicking Login in the upper right-hand corner. So now you can see my username and password. Click Log On, and I can see that I have access to the site because I can see my name in the upper right-hand corner. So in today's video, we want to demonstrate a few ways you might use the ROC in your day-to-day Retain practices. And that, of course, means showing you how to find specific resources on the ROC. We've mentioned in our other videos that the ROC intentionally gives you multiple pathways to find the same information. So we want to take you through a few of those now. As you all know, the Retain TA team is frequently promoting new TA tools, resources, and events. We highlight them through eBlast, the Friday Flash, the Retain Report, e-newsletter, and in all those cases, we list a description of the resource along with a direct link to where you can find it in the ROC. So typically, that's the easiest way to go straight to the source, by clicking on the link in the Retain TA's promotional messages. But there are other cases where you might hear about a resource verbally on a monthly call, or there may be times when you delete the e-newsletter, leaving you without a handy direct link. So in those cases, you might find yourself going directly into the ROC to hunt for a tool or resource. For the sake of this exercise, let's pretend that's the case. Say you heard about a resource during a monthly call. Your AIR liaison described the tool, and now you want to go find it. If it's a newly released tool or resource, you're likely to find it right here on the homepage in the What's New section. So as you can see here, we have the COVID-19 and the Americans for Disability Act resource, the Retain report from July, as well as the Retain success stories. If you don't see your resource here in What's New, or perhaps you're looking for an older resource, another place you can look is in the Master Resource Library, which you can access through the top or the left nav bar. So if we click the left nav bar open, we can see the Master Resource Library here at the bottom. The Master Resource Library is a directory of Retain TA resources organized by category. Almost everything throughout the ROC is housed here, aside from blogs, webinars, and podcasts, which have their own special places that you can find in the left nav bar. And I'll get to those in a minute. Because of the limitations of the ROC platform, we don't have the ability to list text descriptions of each resource in the Master Resource Library. So that's one of the reasons we cross-referenced everything on other pages of the ROC. We're primarily talking about the ROC topic pages, which you can find here and on the top. We talked about that in the part 2 of the video series. And on those pages, you will see those full descriptions of the resources and the tools. But in the Master Resource Library, it's a great place to go if you know exactly what you're looking for. Let's say I heard from my liaison about great piece of grantee guidance related to continuous quality improvement. I can just go to the Master Resource Library here, browse the folder structure, and look for that resource. Here, I can see the grantee guidance folder. If I open that up, I can see the CQI resources. And there's the brief I want right under there. I can just click on it and it downloads right to my computer. So that's an example of how to use the master resource library. But as I mentioned, there are many other ways to find things too. Let's say I want to access the recruitment to enrollment dashboard that everyone's been talking about, but I don't have a link handy. Well, one logical way to find that would be go to the topic pages that we discussed, and we can see that there's a link to recruitment and enrollment. And since the dashboard is a recruitment and enrollment tool, I'm going to click on that. And if I go to recruitment and enrollment, I can see that they have a link for tools and resources. If I click on that, I can see the dashboard, the recruitment to enrollment dashboard